Hey guys, can everybody hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat how the audio is doing, team. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Yeah, the hair, I need to wash the hair, man. It looks like it's very short. I promise it isn't too short, guys. What's up, what's up, what's up? Yes, okay, fantastic. Glad to hear that you guys can hear me loud and clear. That's the most important part. So, as always, we're going to be diving into the markets. Big mistake on my end, guys. I forgot to do the account announcement giveaway of the winner of the 25K Prop Firm Challenge account that we were supposed to give away on Tuesday. So I'm going to be giving away 2 today. So also the one from Tuesday is going to be given away today. So a lot of winners, or 2 winners today, are going to be in today's session, okay? So this day has been interesting so far. We just saw another big push down on EURUSD and GBP USD with the overall strength from the US dollar. We had some good retail sales data come out. Guys, no need to spam the chat, otherwise you're going to be banned. Loud and proud, please stop spamming. But overall, we had some good retail sales data come out, and that has currently caused the market to spike in towards the downside. So that's why you've seen your USD push down, and obviously you saw the dollar kind of like spike up. The dollar itself has mirrored that overall move that we saw yesterday. Obviously, looking here at the overall push in towards the downside, which came purely from news. Again, a lot of market manipulation happening, really spiking out a lot of traders and making the overall markets extremely difficult to trade from a dollar perspective. I did highlight in this morning's outlook that it was likely that we were going to see that push up on the dollar index. Hope some of you were able to follow that. You can see here on the 15-minute time frame very clearly that the overall internal trend. So here we have a low, obviously a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now again a higher high. So the overall trend has been in towards the upside. So definitely I was not interested then at looking at, for example, those EURUSD buy opportunities, because EURUSD obviously looked good to a certain extent. This morning I highlighted that we had the potential to push up higher, for example, after taking out this liquidity low. We can clearly see that there was another drive in towards the downside. Now, once that liquidity low then gets taken out, because look, if you look at this from like a market structure perspective, yes, obviously it makes a lot of sense to look for a potential buy here on your USD, because if you look at this from a mechanical perspective, let's say you would say this is like the push down, this is the retracement, this is the push down, and then boom, you see a big push up. And then what is this big push up now? This big push up is kind of like a break of structure here, and then you would say swing low, swing high, and then you want to look for longs from discount prices, right? Now, the market retraces in towards those discount prices, being the overall gray zone that it is. Now, obviously here you have a lot of equal lows with a lot of liquidity resting underneath that low there, and then you have kind of like this imbalance over here, which eventually caused the market to push up to a certain extent. More refined, you had this area of demand over here, which caused like the actual reaction up. Overall, for EURUSD, however, you can very clearly see that the overall momentum again just remains bearish in towards the downside. So it doesn't make any sense to start buying here on some bullish candles. Maybe you'll get FOMO thinking that the market is going to push up from, for example, this area of demand, and you think, ooh, putting my buy limit here on top of this area of demand with my stop loss here is an amazing like 1 to 3 risk to reward trade to take out the liquidity. But obviously it doesn't make a lot of sense, as there's just zero bullish confirmation. That's why we always, guys, always wait for the fractal confirmation when trading, because that is the overall confirmation that this demand zone is actually ready to push the market up higher. But obviously in this particular scenario, the overall momentum just remained in towards the downside. So yeah, just simply said, no real opportunities to go long there on EURUSD. GU was a pair that I highlighted this morning as well. It was actually looking a little bit cleaner, to be very honest, because if you look at this from like a mechanical perspective, you could have said here that this was like the 4-hour fractal high break, after breaking this 4-hour fractal low. So that would mean that this is the fractal low, this is the fractal high, and that this could potentially be the demand zone to push the market up higher. But then again, a very risky trade due to the fact that the overall momentum again is clearly in towards the downside. With a trade like GU, I definitely wouldn't want to be getting in on those buys just yet after one single bullish candle close, as I still see that there is potential for it to push still down lower, in my personal opinion. Going to gold, and in the meantime I see Benjamin asking, Fabio, do you have a subscription on Bloomberg? Yes, I do. In the meantime, gold pushing down lower after that good US data came out. We can see gold heading in towards the lows after good retail sales data came out. Obviously, gold doesn't like good data from the United States. It thrives on the uncertainty, and it thrives on that bad US data. And it thrives on high inflation, though. It does thrive on high inflation. But yeah, this demand zone, again, no opportunities to go long. I was looking this morning for a long opportunity. Again, highlighted this as well within the overall daily market outlook. So just to kind of like run you guys through my thinking process or my thought process, here we have an area of 4-hour demand. Now, this 4-hour demand is then the overall area from where I want to see the upside continuation happen from, okay? So I'm just helping you guys kind of like understand what is going on in my mind when I look at the overall charts. Hope you guys appreciate that. If you have any questions, let me know. Hey, Big Eman, how have you been, bro? It's been very long, man. Hope you are doing good and healthy, brother. Hope to see you inside Discord again. I miss you, man. I hope you're doing good. But I hope you guys, by the way, again, for everybody else who's watching, understand that I'm kind of trying to explain my overall thought process here on gold. So on the daily time frame, first of all, to give you guys an idea of what I was looking at, from a fractal structure perspective, the daily time frame was fractal bullish, and we are still overall bullish on gold, looking for potential further upside. Now on the 4-hour time frame here, and now again going back in towards this morning / yesterday evening, we can see that gold comes down in towards our area of interest, right? So the initial reaction here, and again, it's kind of like glitching a bit. The initial reaction here happened, right, with this initial kind of like doji candle giving us somewhat of a bullish reaction to the overall demand zone that we have here, okay? So if you look at this on the 1 hour or the 15-minute time frame, it's probably 1 or 2 bullish candles. Well, here you can see indeed the bullish candle. Now, this is a bullish candle that a lot of people will tend to start buying in towards the upside with either the stop loss here, stop loss somewhere here, or stop loss even here. Now, looking here at the 1 hour time frame, and it becomes more clear on the 15-minute for myself, is that we had liquidity still open underneath this low. So obviously I was waiting for that low to get swept. Well, this morning in the market outlook, I highlighted that this low here swept this overall liquidity low. So at that point in time, I'm pretty much interested to start to look for buys. However, obviously we kind of like need to break out of this range here and see some momentum come in, but I am interested in buying. Now, looking at the market, then what happens, you can clearly see that this overall imbalance candle here, which is again a buy before the sell, pushes the market down lower, and then eventually this buy before the sell here is what pushes the market down lower. So you can see very clearly that the overall momentum just remains in towards the downside. And again, from that moment onwards, this is kind of like the supply zone that is going to keep pushing the market down lower. That's the overall order flow, okay? So somebody's asking, how do I get a good prop firm? Guys, make sure to sign up. Maybe Rutger can share the link to the trading pit in the chat. Rutger will share the link to the trading pit in the chat. Which is our preferred prop firm. And again, if you have any issues with them, you send me a message and I'm going to go after them until I get you your money. So no, all love, but no, I know the team and they're very reliable. And again, it's a good and transparent prop firm. So if you have any questions, you can just always let me know. And then there's also Jan from the Trading Pit team himself, who is also always in the chats to help out. So I always recommend, if you want to get an account with a prop firm and you kind of like want to be in contact with the team, then for sure, make sure to sign up with them. And that's also straight away kind of like a bridge into what I want to say, is that you have to sign up with them to be eligible to win the account, one of the 2 accounts that I'm giving away today. So 25k account is up for grabs today, guys, so make sure to sign up. Now, enough with the overall promotional talk. Back to gold. So obviously gold stays bearish, keeps pushing down lower. Sanjeev, OG Fabio, yes man, we never ever move. We never move away. So here we can see that obviously the momentum is in towards the downside. Again, this supply zone is then in control with the overall 50-minute fractal high being positioned over here. So pretty much as long as this, let's say, fractal high and this supply zone remain in control, I'm not really interested in looking for buys. Momentum is in towards the downside, lower lows, lower highs, right? Over momentum down. Then what happens, let's see, okay, market retraces. Boom, I didn't even actually know that this was going to happen, but then you can clearly see it just sells off again from that 50-minute supply zone in towards the downside. Now at this point in time, what is then your overall supply that is in control? That's then this is the overall order flow, right? This is the overall fractal structure as well, with your fractal high being over here. So we're just simply creating lower lows and lower highs again. So again, let's see what happens to the overall supply zone. Let's see. Okay, we push in and we push down again, and then eventually boom, 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 we head down lower. So you can clearly see that the overall momentum on gold remains in towards the downside and that we remain bearish, guys. So this is a very good tip for all of you. Again, if you're looking for those buys like I was looking as well, because I'm not denying that I wasn't looking for those buys, that's fine. But then again, always wait for that confirmation just to improve the win rate slightly and to stop taking these unnecessary losses like this overall setup here. So for now, what's happened on gold is that the overall daily fractal structure is now shifted. That now means that this over here is currently in control. This is like the overall supply zone is in control. And from a 4-hour time frame perspective as well, this is pretty much your 4-hour supply zone. So I'm not looking for any longs on gold until we break that current fractal high again here on the 4-hour time frame. So yeah, not looking for any longs on gold for now. So yeah, that is pretty much that for gold. And let's see what you guys are looking for yourselves. Share me those setups in the chat, guys, and don't forget to leave a like as well on the stream. Let me know what charts you are looking at and what you want me to analyze with you. Preferably also mention what I need to check out. Guys, we only have 79 likes on the stream. Let's just run it up to 200 again. Always highly appreciated. But let me know what you guys are looking for on the charts and kind of like explain as well how you want to see it. Okay, so I have somebody selling UK 100 at 8.981.7, 8,981.7. Let's have a look. I never trade. Guys, please share as well what you or when you are going to enter. Don't just only share GBP USD or USD CAD, but actually also share what you are looking for with kind of like the level. Because for example here, UK 100, let me just see, I never look at UK 100. What's the best chart to look at? UK 100 overall daily choppy, still bullish. Let's have a look. 4-hour choppy as well. I don't really see a setup on this, to be very honest. And also not a pair that I like analyzing. Let's have a look at NASDAQ, see if that's any cleaner today. Let's have a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ. So NASDAQ overall looking for more upside still. Daily fractal is bullish. Daily swing is obviously bullish. Momentum is high here on NASDAQ. July is always a good month. I also spoke to someone in London who was part of the best traders of Alpha Capital. He was also saying July is a bullish month for indices, for NASDAQ, for stocks. So look for those buys on NASDAQ, he was saying. Well, it's been playing out beautifully so far for him. Looking here at NASDAQ, again, a very, very clear example how beautifully overall 4-hour demand here has pushed the market up higher. Again, looking at this chart for now, I'm looking for further buys on this from this overall area of demand. So I would be looking for continuation trades here on NASDAQ today. I'll be looking at the 15-minute time frame. For now, overall, the pullback phase here is in motion. So you want to kind of like see this market structure break, and then you could start looking for those longs again on NASDAQ. But yeah, overall, I like what I'm seeing for some potential more buys. For the rest, guys, looking for NZD USD longs once the 4-hour fractal breaks to the upside. That is a trade that I've been looking at as well. overall here on NZD USD. NZD, however, has been pretty weak, to be very honest, but overall the daily fractal remains bullish. Obviously here, also from a market structure perspective, let's say this is a break and this is a break, so low, high, low, higher low, higher high, higher high, and you expect it to kind of like potentially be something like this. So let's see indeed if we can get a push up here on NZD USD, maybe at least a little bit of a push. Overall, however, momentum is heavily in towards the downside, so we would really need to see some momentum kick in on this thing. But for now, yeah, remains bearish, but maybe if the current fractal high breaks, you could attempt to take a nice long with maybe your stop loss here instead of here, just to give it a little bit more breathing space overall on NZD USD. Yeah, guys, no need to spam the chat as always, please. Fabio, I have a question. If a candle makes a dramatic push up or down due to news and break structure, would the previous candle before the push be relevant as an area of supply demand? No, not really. So to give you guys some perspective, I never am a big fan personally of trading supply or demand zones that are based on news pushes, because more often than not, will you just simply see that the overall supply zone will not be respected. I don't have maybe a prime example at the moment to give you guys, but overall, let's say, let me see. Well, let's say here, for example, back on the 12th of May, I remember this was something to do with the news. Overall, we get some dollar bullishness, and then you can just see the overall move down again, just gets replicated. So yeah, I mean, those news pushes, more often than not, they'll just be mirrored back in towards the other direction, unless obviously the news is thus substantial that it's actually going to kind of like reverse based on it. Guys, well, you're not replying, Fabio. Guys, there's 100 messages in the bloody chat. I'm looking at the chart itself, and at the same time I'm trying to look at the chat. So give me some time, guys, to read the chat, please. I asked twice everything I'm looking for. Yeah, but if 100 messages are sent after your message, then it's hard to follow, brother. It's not personal. I'm trying to really respond to all the messages, guys. But just to finish off of that, additionally, there's no liquidity in the overall push down as well with that news push. And then, like I explained at the beginning of the stream, as long as the overall market structure pretty much remains bullish, it doesn't really make any sense to look, doesn't really make any sense to look for those shorts. Especially if one, there's no liquidity, and then yes, maybe you could consider this as a liquidity high, but then you would need to see like a substantial market structure shift, and here you can just see the market structure remains bullish, and for now this is kind of like your strong low. So maybe if you break that low, retracement, and another low break, that could confirm that there's actually some dollar bearishness incoming. Okay, guys, now I'm just going to focus on the chat and we're going to answer some questions. So, Fabio, I have a question. If a fractal structure is on a red candle, would the fractal be from the same red candle or the candle before? Joshua, you don't have to look at the color of the candlesticks. The color of the candlesticks is irrelevant. You always focus purely on the most recent higher low break. So you can clearly see over here on my chart, for example, that when we look over here, and then the current fractal low is here, the current fractal high is there, that once we break in towards the upside here, the current fractal low is then the low of this bearish candle, because it is the most recent low that broke a high. From this moment onwards, the highs keep getting broken and push in towards the upside. So you always look at the most recent low that broke a high, and candlestick color is always going to be irrelevant. I'm going to be looking for another good example. So let's see over here. Yeah, so here, for example, here you take the fractal low, and that's then the low of the overall bullish candlestick. As simple as that, because from here, this is the moment that you then start breaking the highs again, and then you just keep on following the overall high breaks. And that's how you always understand what the fractal low is. So let's see what else, other questions. When would you look for longs on EURUSD? Okay, I'm going to try and not skip too many questions, team. Let's see, EURUSD. Let me just clean up the charts a bit. So EURUSD, from a daily perspective, is obviously trading inside daily imbalance. However, momentum is in towards the downside for now. Based on the 4-hour time frame, If you are looking for longs, I would say look for longs from deeper levels. I'm kind of looking at this level over here. I still would prefer to see further downside from EURUSD for now in the immediate term or in the immediate future. And then I would want to see like a double fractal break happen from that 4-hour demand zone. And that would, for example, be a short-term long opportunity that I would see that could be capitalized on. So something that like that is what I'm currently waiting for and looking for. GBP USD longs on the 50-minute time frame. There is a chalk from the demand zone. Let's have a look at that. GBP USD. So GBP USD chalk on the 50-minute demand zone. Yeah, I mean, that could provide you with a short-term long opportunity for sure. We've just grabbed liquidity underneath a major low, providing us with some initial bullish buying pressure. So yeah, you could look for that pullback. The connection with the daily supply zone has not yet been made. So there is potential for you to long it in towards there and then maybe sell it again in towards the downside. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, indeed 4-hour fractal is bullish at the moment. For now, we are inside this 4-hour imbalance. Going into the 15-minute time frame, yes, indeed, you can now see that the overall, let's say, structural break took place in towards the upside. So here you have the low break, here you have the high break. Now here low, here high, and then you retrace all the way down in towards this demand zone. Now indeed here it's a little bit different as opposed to EURUSD, where you actually get that market structure shift in towards the highs. This imbalance then pushes the market up higher. So keep an eye on this high break, and then maybe you could get in on some short-term buying opportunities there for GBP USD. Fabio, how to directly enter on a lower time frame demand or double fractal break? Guys, for entries, I really refer you back to the Discord. There's a whole section there explaining entire trade breakdowns. I'm recording some new ones at the moment, but for now, I mean, it is fairly simple, to be very honest. A good entry on GBP USD, or a good example of an entry, would be over here, where you can clearly see that the overall swing structure is bearish from, let's say, this high in towards this low. So this is the swing structure. We are bearish with bearish momentum. Here you have a high, which is a liquidity high. Why is that a liquidity high? Because it's a bump in the road. This previous liquidity already got taken out. That's why we don't need to take out this high over here. This liquidity high doesn't or hasn't taken anything out. So that's the difference between this high and this high. This high over here took out the liquidity here to the left. This high over here is part of the overall push down, and therefore it's liquidity in itself. So we use that as liquidity to engineer the next move down. You wait for kind of like the market structure break in towards the downside. This is then your supply zone, and then you can place your entry on top of that supply zone, or you wait for another fractal low break, and then you just get in here on the fractal low break with your stop loss above the current fractal high, and then you can see the overall momentum continues in towards downside. And that would have been a beautiful 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 risk to reward. So that's pretty much how you can trade the lower time frame entry as fast as explained as possible with a high probability area of demand. So that's that. Let's see. So that applies for USD Swiss because it's moving in line with the dollar index. Yeah, the dollar Swiss is overall not the most interesting for longs, at least yet. I'm more interested still in one more short opportunity, one more attempt to potentially short it. Now, what's happened here on USD Swiss is, first of all, if you zoom out, the overall momentum is down. Now, daily fractal structure is also bearish. So first of all, swing structure is bearish from this high in towards this low. Second of all, daily fractal is bearish from this high in towards this low. You're currently trading at a daily area of supply, right? So this daily imbalance candle. Zoom into that daily imbalance candle and go to the 4-hour. Here on the 4-hour time frame, you've taken out the high of the news wick itself. So now you could start looking for shorts once you start seeing some bearish potential confirmation to give this one more try. But once that daily fractal flips bullish, I would really kind of like stay out of USD Swiss. So maybe one more short there on USD Swiss. I got a sell limit on UJ yesterday. Let me see, at 149.037. Let's have a look at UJ. So the thing I don't understand, I got a sell limit on UJ yesterday. Well, I'm not really agreeing with those sells on UJ. Main reason just being is because the daily fractal here is clearly bullish. You tapped into a daily demand zone, you pushed up higher from there. Like, demand has been filled. If demand was still open, then I would say okay, maybe. But for now, demand has been filled, so it doesn't make sense to look at that trade on USD yen to short it, in my opinion, from these levels. But that's again just based on my strategy itself. So also here from a 4-hour swing structure perspective, you've already made a retracement into discount. So for me, it's just not a high probability high probability play to make. Hey Sanjeev, of course there's a way that I would recognize you, brother. Looking for EURUSD longs. Yes, EURUSD longs definitely make sense. Let's have a quick look. EURUSD longs. So EURUSD is currently retracing. Yeah, so daily fractal is bullish. We're retracing in towards the downside. Let's see if we come into that daily demand zone, which is a daily sub for the buy. 4-hour time frame at the moment is still fractal bearish. In the Discord, still doing some reading on that, to be very, very honest. Can fundamental analysis change or affect technical analysis? For example, if I have a strong technical setup, can usual fundamentals make it full or go in the opposite direction? Yes, for sure, it can. Childish Fabio, why did you time me out, bro? Really? Because guys, we spam the chat. Really, no need. Can you guys still hear me? Everything should still be working. Stream is lagging. Rip stream. Fucking hell. Okay, now it's good. Okay guys, sorry man, everybody's stressing. Thanks, good to know that it's working good. Good to know, good to know, good to know. Refresh and it works. Okay, good guys. Yeah, you never know with hotel Wi-Fi. Can just yeah, go to shit at any second, to be honest. AUD NZD shorts from around 109.626. Looking at the daily, if this bloody thing loads. Yeah, so daily time frame is obviously in supply. Weekly time frame is in a supply zone. So yeah, this weekly supply zone could push the market down lower for sure. Looking here at the daily, we've seen a fractal break. So yeah, I mean, keep an eye on this supply zone. It could provide us with some further downside. Glad to hear that it works well. NZD USD has already been discussed. What is your main strategy and approach when you're passing your funded challenges, especially your routine risk plan and how you managed emotions during the challenge? Okay guys, a very quick update on how to pass those challenges. It's important that you don't purchase just one challenge, but purchase multiple. So don't get, if your budget is let's say $500 US, don't buy 100k account, but buy multiple 25k accounts, for example. Get like 4 of them, because your win rate or your let's say losing streaks can occur at any point in time, right? So get 4 of them and then just trade them one by one, in the sense that you take the first trade only on the first account, the second trade you take on account number 1 and 2, the third trade you take on account 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth trade you take on account 1, 2, 3, 4, for example. And then at some point in time, the winner will come in those 4 trades if your win rate is legit and you actually know what you're doing. And then you take the trade, for example, for a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and then you take it with, let's say, a 2.5% risk, and then with that one trade, you're going to be 5% up. Obviously, if you have, let's say, 2 losses in a row, that first account will be in a 5% drawdown, that second one will be in a 2.5% drawdown, but that third account will be 5% up, and then the second account will be 2.5% up, and then that first account will be back at break even. So then one more winner, for example, after that, and then boom, account number 3 is in. Account number 2 is at 7.5%, account number 1 is at 5%. So then it can go really, really fast. So you need to think of it really like a business. This is also how most of the prop firm traders who are very successful and I spoke to in London are currently working. How are the casinos in Dubai, Fabio? Jan, I don't think they have casinos in Dubai. To be honest, never went to a casino here. I don't think they have them. I think they're forbidden. I know that in Ras Al Khaimah they're making one, but not here in Dubai as far as I know. Australian also got weak with employment data. Correct, there was some employment data indeed causing that weakness for the Australian dollar today. Guys, don't forget to sign up with the link if you have not yet. The link is pinned here in the chat. I'll be giving away those 2 accounts to the people who stay until the end of the stream. So let's see who is loyal, guys, to the stream. Have you seen Photon Trading Bro? Yes, I have. Great videos on YouTube, good value. CAD yen bearish. VPN and go to Unibet. Yes, but I think they were talking about a physical casino, bro. CAD yen still very bullish. Not yet bearish at the moment. Momentum still up, and there has still not been any fractal shift in structure. What area are you staying, Fabio? I am staying in Business Bay, the most Dutch e-commerce place to stay in all of Dubai. Yeah, guys, let me know if you signed up. The link is pinned here in the chat, because then we can give away those accounts. Let me see. Make sure to sign up to this link. And Fabio, why is New Zealand dollar weak? There's some weak news in relationship to the economy. I need to again update a lot of the fundamentals. I've been traveling this week, so I'm not going to say anything that I'm not informed on fully. I'm going to do a lot of reading today in the evening. I have some family here, so I'm going to be visiting them, and then after that with Rucker, I'm going to have a dinner, and then I'm going to go and do a lot of reading, and then I'll drop some updates inside Discord. Great stuff, guys. If you signed up, fantastic. Is it available in the United States? Only the futures is available in the United States. Fabio, how do you know if the market needs to take liquidity or not? Your example yesterday with the EURUSD was spot on. Thank you. Yes. So when it comes to looking at liquidity, I mean, you kind of need to just understand that there needs to be at least one form of liquidity when looking for a high probability trade. So at some point in time, the market will always come back to grab that liquidity. Like, the market will not just rally down or rally up forever, okay? So you're very often going to see these crazy spikes happen in some kind of run, where a lot of liquidity will get taken out, and then you have kind of like these fake market structure shifts. Like, a good example could be, let's say here, right? So this is like a swing low, this is a swing high, and then you identify this is the higher low to then push the market up higher. Let's say you enter, let's say just hypothetically speaking, you enter here, you place your stop loss here, and your TP is like a 1 to 2 risk to reward somewhere over here. Like, let's say it goes to the high here, and then you say, aha, here I'm going to place it to break even. Like, what you see happening is the market comes back to just grab this low, and then it fuels the next real leg up. So obviously in this overall leg up, there was no liquidity. So what happens is that the market at some point in time will come back to grab that initial reaction. And that is what I often look for within the market itself, that when you don't have any liquidity in a supply zone, the market is very likely to come back to that supply zone. So for example, and you have to obviously look at it from a perspective where you trade with the overall trend, but let's say, let me get a good example for you guys so you fully understand what I'm looking for. How do you sign up, guys? I shared the link here in the chat. It is this one, and it's pinned in the chat as well. So overall, when we look at the market reaction, like again here, let's say you have this area of demand, and you're looking to trade a long opportunity. Now what happens here is that the market gives some kind of like initial bullish reaction, with a lot of people would see kind of like as a support and resistance level. But then the market gives the initial reaction, but there's no liquidity again taken yet. Like, this is the liquidity low, which is positioned right above the demand zone. The market comes down to take that liquidity, then it gives you the change of character over here, and then this is therefore the valid demand zone to then push the market up higher. So always look at it from that perspective, that you at least need some form of liquidity. Either you have liquidity in the push up or the push down. So in the overall impulse, there needs to be liquidity to be grabbed, or otherwise you need to engineer liquidity within the overall retracement. So here you get the push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, and then boom, you get the push up again. And then here, what happens, you get the initial reaction to demand, you liquidate that initial reaction, and then that is your liquidity, okay? Hope that really makes a lot of sense. Fabio, are you looking for gold long still? No, I'm not at the moment, just because the daily fractal shifted in regards to its market structure. So not very interested in it at the moment. Thanks, guys. We have 210 likes on the stream. Always. Is this your prop company? No, it's not, Teti. I don't have a prop firm. Would be nice to have a prop firm, because I heard you can make a lot of money with it, but I heard it's also a lot of headaches. I rather milk the prop firm than hand out milk or be milked, if that makes sense. I rather own a cow than be a cow. I think that's a good kind of like metaphor, or a good way to put it. Always the eagle. Thanks for the message. I appreciate you saying that I'm helping you guys out. It means a lot because I put a lot of time and effort into these streams, you know, like it's 45 minutes of my day again that I'm here talking to you guys, and I just appreciate you guys taking the time to show up. I mean, every Tuesday and Thursday we're here on the stream, obviously. As always, and share my kind of like little perspectives on the markets. Do you do live scalping sessions too? Yes, and I'm gonna do a lot of them inside Discord. That's where the main value is currently being shared. Hi, currently in drawdown on Swiss yen. I would really like to hear your input on the pair. Swiss yen buys, guys. Show the Rolex, guys. I don't want to be I'm not here to flex any Rolexes. I'm here to make you guys earn a Rolex. Swiss yen is bullish, only looking for longs. I mean, it's fractal bullish all the way. The last time we saw a bearish fractal structure was March. It's been bullish fractal ever since. Just buy the thing. This is not financial bloody advice, but it does look a lot like Yo. I think it's working now, guys. Let me know if the audio is good now. Hello. So Swiss yen, guys. Bro, my ears are gone. Or yeah, so Swiss yen looking for the further upside. I think it should be working now. Okay, good. So Swiss yen is still very, very bullish. And as long as the daily fractal structure is respected, it should still continue pushing up higher, right? So the current fractal low is still respected, should still push up higher. So I'm just looking to kind of like, to be honest, actually go long on this with my stop loss underneath the fractal low. I mean, it's been respecting fractal structure ever since March. And then for the other question, why do I do this, guys? Because I've been in your shoes as well. And the very first time I kind of like started doing YouTube was back in 2021. You can still see my first videos on the channel. Every single time I did a video, I edited the entire video. It took me like 3 hours to upload the bloody thing. Enjoyed it so much, but there was literally like 10 people watching those videos. And now I'm kind of like back in a scenario where I have an audience and I just feel so blessed. So I just want to keep helping you guys with the best education possible and the most transparent education out there, you know, with the real kind of like insights in how you can become a full-time trader like myself and travel the world. Like I'm literally now here in a hotel room in Dubai on the 44th floor. And yeah, I mean, it's an amazing experience. And yeah, Fabio, are you going to go on a yacht party? No, I'm not. I'm going to go wakeboarding on Saturday, guys. I'm going to go wakeboarding on Saturday. So I'll bring you guys along on the Instagram stories. Are you guys following me on Instagram, by the way? Otherwise, make sure to follow TTA Capital. I'm kind of like doing little day vlogs over there. I'm going to try and share as much as I can. Guys, for the two winners who are going to get an account. 1, you need to be inside Discord. Link in the description of this video. Number 2, you need to have signed up for the trading pit using our link. Otherwise, I cannot give you the account itself. If those two are the case, say yes in the chat because I'm going to choose 2 people from the chat, guys. Say yes in the chat because I'm going to choose 2 individuals, guys. Yes, guys, say yes. Fantastic. Yes. Okay, guys, really be honest, because I'm gonna check. And oh yeah, and you need to have left a like on the stream as well. That's also a very important part that I actually didn't mention. Okay, great, guys. So I'm gonna choose two random people from the chat. So number one. Dun, 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 dun. Winner number one. Wow, the chat is going fast. I'm trying to read a name, but it's going very fast. So winner number one is going to be, guys, I'm choosing a name now. Great stuff. Okay, so now the chat is going very fast again. Okay, so the winner number one, guys, is going to be Alexis. Alexis, guys, with the red shirt. That's winner number one. He has a very clear profile picture, so it's not hard to forget you. So Alexis, send me a message inside Discord. You are the first winner. And guys, there's still a second winner to be chosen. And the second winner is going to be a very, very, very loyal viewer of the stream and a very loyal Discord member as well. It's going to be Manny. So Manny and Alexis, thank you for being in the stream. Make sure to open a ticket inside the Discord server and you will get your funded accounts today. Both a $25,000 funded challenge, guys, with the trading pick. Congratulations, guys. If you didn't win, apologies. Better luck next time. I'm giving away more in the next stream. Every single Tuesday and Thursday, we are giving away prop firm accounts for the upcoming year. So just be here on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, and you will have the opportunity to win. Let me know next time. What I'm going to do on Tuesday is I'm going to have the best person with the best trade breakdown. I'm going to ask you guys to make a trade breakdown. The best trade breakdown is going to win that challenge. So make sure it just has to be a chart with kind of like an explanation of why you took the setup. And I want to see like the best and most detailed breakdown. That person is going to win a funded challenge. So already start preparing. It doesn't have to be a setup of Tuesday. So next stream is going to be on Tuesday. It doesn't have to be a setup of that Tuesday itself. Just a setup that you took in, let's say, the past 2 weeks. So that's how you know that you can win on Tuesday. So start working on that. That's going to be the homework for this weekend, guys. Thank you so much for joining as always. I appreciate every single one of you and taking the time to be here. I put a lot of love and effort and time into these streams. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. There's going to be another educational video dropping this weekend, and on Monday we are going to be dropping the vlog from London. Thank you for tuning in. Wish you all a beautiful afternoon, evening, morning from wherever you are in the world. Guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and love you all. See you inside Discord. Ciao.